You ready to go? Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chief Tony Slowick, and this is the April 9th, 2024 Community Advisory Board meeting. We're going to start the meeting, and we're going to start it with a roll call. Kim, are you able to, how do we do this roll call? Do we just say? Okay, so we'll start with, do I need to call everybody out? Is that what I do? All right. So do we have Council Member Chris Wigenstein here?
Present.
Okay. Rachel Paul?
Present.
River Powers?
Present.
Brian Hunt?
Present.
And Kimi Nero is absent today. Okay. And Melinda Buchanan. Okay. So it sounds like we have 2 people that are absent and 4 people that are present. All right, next, I'm going to look for a motion to approve the agenda for today. The agenda is in our packet. So,
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
okay, so we have a motion by Brian Hunt. Do we have a second?
A second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, we have all opposed and all abstaining. So it looks like we have unanimous decision to approve the minutes. Or the agenda, I'm sorry. There are no minutes from last meeting, since the last meeting was in 2020. And it's been a while. And this time, we're going to open up for a public comment period. During this time, citizens may comment on subjects of interest not on the agenda or agenda items. To ensure comments are recorded properly, state your name clearly. Individual comments will be limited to 3 minutes to ensure maximum participation during the 15-minute time frame allotted for this item. Public comment may also be submitted on the city's website or at least 2 business days in advance of an advisory board meeting. Kim, do we have any comments received by email? No. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to comment during the comment period? All right, so we're going to close the public comment period. At this time, we're going to do introductions. Since this is a new board, we'll start with Chris, if you can introduce yourself, and then we'll go around the table there.
Yeah, I'm Chris Wigenstein, council member ex officio for this committee. Is this a committee? Advisory board. Ooh, even special names. Okay, so yeah, for that. So
I'm Rachel Paul. I'm new to this advisory board.
I'm River Powers, also new to the advisory board.
I'm Brian Hunt, and I'm very new too. When I'm not here, I work for the school district. I'm the director of facilities, and I'm also in charge of safety, and we do lockdown drills, lockout drills, and I have a wonderful, close relationship with Oak Harbor PD. They help us out with the drills and help us with our training. So I'm here to kind of pay it back a little bit if I can.
All right, well, I appreciate everybody being here. Again, Chief Tony Slowick with the Oak Harbor Police Department. I am facilitating today's advisory board meeting. One piece of the advisory board is really the relationship that we have with the police department and our community. And we're excited to get this advisory board, this community advisory board moving forward, and to have interactions and really reach out to our community to see what kind of services are we providing and how does the community want to be policed. And I really feel like this advisory board is a nexus to that. So I'm excited that we get moving forward. So next on the item is election of a chair and vice chair. So this advisory board is run actually by the members of the advisory board. So we would need somebody to be a chair and a vice chair, and that is of the voting members. And currently there are 3 voting members here. Is anybody interested in being a chair or a vice chair? And if we need to take a moment, you three can talk.
All right, we've discussed it among ourselves, and I would volunteer to be the chair of our group.
You don't have to switch today. We'll do that for the next meeting. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Okay, so we have a motion for, what's that? Oh, yeah, can we have does somebody like to make a motion for Brian to be the
I
chairperson?
move that Brian be the chair of the Community Advisory Board.
Okay, second?
I second it.
All right, we have a motion by River Powers and a second by Rachel Paul. All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, looks like a unanimous decision for passing. Congratulations, Brian.
I move that Rachel Paul be the vice chair.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
And I will second that.
All right. So River makes a motion for Rachel Paul to be the vice chair and Brian Hunt seconds. All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. So passed. Wonderful. So a part of the appointment to the Community Advisory Board was City Council confirming your appointments. In your packet, when City Council confirmed the appointments, they confirmed when the term dates would start and end. So you can find those in your packet. The terms are all are on a 2-year rotation, and to make sure that we have enough members that are finishing in 2025 and 2026. So. Any questions? Okay, no worries.
It's on the left side of your packet under the agenda.
Okay, are there any questions with the terms? Okay. All right, the next item on the agenda is the appointment of the student member. Currently, the city has received one application, and that's Kimi Nero, who is not present today. But that application has been submitted and referred to you as the Community Advisory Board for an appointment. The student rep for the position is a 1-year term, and it ends, I believe, in August, starts for this school district period is the term. And that person may be reappointed at the board's discretion if they so choose to run again for the position, say if they were a junior and wanted to run their senior year. So at this time, is there any discussion or any motion to appoint Kimi Nero as our student rep?
And we know for sure that because he's not here today, but we know for sure that he knows that there are meetings.
He does know that there are meetings. They're not mandatory for him.
Gotcha.
He does
Okay.
know that they are meetings. He did submit his application, and we did communicate with him about the meetings. So
Then, does it need a motion?
we do need a motion for.
Okay. I move that we appoint Kaimi Nero as the student representative.
Okay, I have a motion. Is there a second? Okay. All in favor of appointing Kaimi Nero as the student representative, raise your right hand. Okay, that passes unanimously. So the next item on our agenda is the time and date of when we want to have our community advisory board meetings. Per our city ordinance, the meetings are required to be at minimum of quarterly. In the past, they had been on the second Tuesday of the month at 4:15. So this is a time for you guys as a board to decide when would you like to meet as a community advisory board. You guys can have a conversation. Yeah, turn on your mic, and then you guys can have a conversation.
Can all the mics be on at once?
No, I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that.
So just go ahead and put your mic in and say your thoughts.
One at a time, yeah.
So I don't feel strongly about how often we meet, as much as I'd like it to be either later in the day or on Mondays, Wednesdays, or Fridays.
Later after 4:15.
Yeah, I'm going to have difficulty attending meetings until about 6. I don't even know if that's an option.
It's probably not an option on Tuesdays at 6 because of city council.
That's exactly right.
I like Tuesdays a lot. I'd certainly be willing to do it. Is there a possibility of doing it in a different location or on a Tuesday that's not a city council meeting?
Currently, the meeting is scheduled on the second Tuesday of the month, which is not a city council meeting. The city council meetings are the first and third Tuesday of the month.
If we could do 6, that's great. And I don't know if we're able to make this earlier when the school year is over, right? I can do a lot more when the school year's over, but.
I think Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month at 6 would work. Is there any conflicts with this room or any of the other, I mean, because I know there's other advisory boards and committees, and I just want to make sure we're not going to have a conflict.
Are we looking at monthly or quarterly?
Let's look at monthly to start with, and then we can, if we needed it quarterly, it changes. And so I guess that would be my other question to Chief Slowick would be, is there a benefit? I mean, initially starting off, I would think more often than less often so that we can get a feel for what we're doing and actually get some things done, taken care of it versus a quarterly where, if we were just maintaining stuff, I would recommend a quarterly, but I imagine you have a list of stuff for us to look at some point.
I agree. I believe that at least for the first 3 meetings or so, we do it monthly, and we can look at maybe going every other month after that, or as the board decides.
I think that's fine. I actually personally the next 3 second Tuesdays of the month, I will not be able to attend later. I would need to come earlier.
Is there another day of the week? You said Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are available.
Yes, almost any day but that Tuesday for the next 3 months.
Yeah. Are you available earlier on Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yes, I'm available anytime on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
What about you, Robert?
If it's earlier on a Monday or a Wednesday, I have much better likelihood of of making it work.
So another option, because Wednesday afternoons, I'm pretty wide open unless we have something scheduled, which we do this week, but we very rarely have the second Wednesday of the month. I mean, it's the first special meeting we've had. So other than those occasional, which we would then need to be flexible for, we could look at a Wednesday afternoon, 1:30, 2 o'clock maybe. Is that too early, or 3? Whatever's better for you guys. I mean, I'm flexible anytime afternoon, so after 1 actually.
I love the 4:15 time. So on a Wednesday at 4:15 would be doable.
So the second Wednesday of the month at 4:15.
And that's not gonna conflict with anything else in the city's schedule or agenda? Nope, that would work.
Are the meetings normally 45 minutes, hour?
The meetings are, they could be longer if we had more information that you guys would want to be presented to you. They also could, yeah, they probably would be 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay, any possibility then of switching to the third Wednesday or the first Wednesday? Music festival meets
So-
on the second Wednesday.
So the first Wednesday would be best, because the fourth Wednesday is council. So I think the first Wednesday of the month might be a little more appropriate. Does that look all right? For me, at least. We could do the third, I guess, as well. Except isn't there a month where December and November, city council will take up that third Wednesday on one of those months typically.
Well, what we can do is pick, like you said, for the next couple months, since we're gonna do it monthly, and then we'll come back and reevaluate, we'll have a calendar of then what it will change to monthly or quarterly, and then we would just do a motion to change, if it was conflicting with the city council, for that month, we just change the date later that week. And that way we could have a calendar in front of you, so if you wanna pick what you think will be the best routine day, and then we'll come back with the calendar just to check all those dates, make sure there's no holidays or city closures or, and if you don't need to meet, we can always cancel meetings.
Okay, well, I move that we change our meeting times to 4:15 PM on the first Wednesday of the month beginning in May.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to change the Community Advisory Board meetings to the first Wednesday of the month at 4:15. All in favor, raise your right hand. That is passed unanimously. Great job, everybody. You guys are doing wonderful. So the next item is to just discuss some online training that is a requirement to be on a city advisory board or committee. And I believe that everyone has received emails with the online training that is required by the city. Is there any questions about that, or the training due date is June 30th of this year? No? Okay. All right, next is member comment period. So I will open this up. Does anybody have any member comments?
Not yet.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to close member comment period, and the next is the determination of future agenda items. There are 2 items that are in your packet. Currently, all boards and committees in the city are undergoing a review of their bylaws and the city ordinance. In your packet, we have provided the current bylaws and city ordinance. Do we also provide We've also provided the draft bylaws in the packets to be for your consideration. We are going to bring those forward at our next meeting to discuss the draft bylaws and ordinance, and any changes that you might have or any questions, to be able to discuss that with city staff. And after, if it is approved by the Community Advisory Board, it would go to City Council for final approval. Are there any questions?
I think so. I'm not exactly sure what my question is, but so I have 2 ordinances here,
Yep.
1997 and 1984. They're different. One's about specifically about this advisory board. The other one is about all.
Certainly. So I'm going to turn it to Kim Perrine to discuss.
Go, Kim.
Thank you.
I am not.
Last December, the council approved a uniform policy for all the boards, commissions, and committees, which is, I think, 1974. 1984? Yeah. So 1984 covers everybody. The other two documents you have is a draft ordinance and a resolution with attached bylaws that covers just cab. So those are in draft, and you'll see blanks, and so you just need to read through those and make any comments and bring that back to the next board meeting. Does that make sense?
Are we looking for anything in particular? We're just looking to make sure that we approve of whatever's in here without any questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So the 1984 is mainly for our information, so we know what the process is. And then you said 1997 is a draft. So it's a draft ordinance for specific to this board that we would need to review and put our stamp on and then send up to council, as well as the resolution with the bylaws attached.
So if I can, I'm Mikhail Finkel, Executive Services Coordinator. The ordinance is going to set forth the powers and duties of the board. So this will be what you're tasked to do it. So since they haven't met in a long time, since Chief said for several years, we want to make sure and bring all that information up to date so that you know exactly what your focus is and, you know, what the board will be working on. And then the resolution, more the bylaws, that's where we'll adopt the time of your regular meetings, the time and date of your regular meetings, and more routine stuff particular to the board. So if that helps. There might not be any change.
What's,
Thank you.
Mikhail, what's the highlighted in the bylaws? There's highlighted stuff. Is that like highlighted for a specific reason?
It's stuff that we have to fill in when we present it.
Yeah, I
So
see that in the
like-
resolution. I was looking more like in the actual
Oh, let me go to the
bylaws.
Yeah, so those are our working notes. So it would just be, we're just verifying like that we do still have the DARE program, or does something else need to be identified there?
Okay,
Um,
cool. I just was curious. Thank.
Yeah, so the date is highlighted in there of the meetings. So yeah, that's just stuff that we would want to confirm and fill in.
So it is the intent of city staff to bring this back to the Community Advisory Board complete at our next meeting. You'll be provided that information ahead of time, the final draft, to be reviewed and voted on and discussed at the meeting. Okay?
So do we need to do anything besides review it? We don't need to do anything with it. It's going to come back with all of these things that are blank right now. They're going to come back filled in based on what we've done so far today.
That's correct.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
there's no action that needs to be taken by the board. It's more informational at this time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question that I probably should have done in the member comments, but since we're formally informal, does the police department, and we're talking about the future agenda items, so it might be able to fall into there. Is it possible to get a kind of a wish list of like goals that the police department would like to kind of present and share with us so that we can kind of get an idea, and that way we can communicate back with the community as well as help assist in whatever you guys in that regard with us.
Definitely, the intent of the next meeting also is to provide an overview of where we're at as the police department. We are in a period where we need to create our 5-year strategic plan, and part of that is a community survey that we would like to move forward with, and that's a conversation with the Community Advisory Board to help provide scope of that survey and get that survey out to the community.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, is there any other discussion items? That is all for our agenda today. Okay, hearing none, I'd take a motion to end the meeting. Or,
So moved.
okay. All right, thank you, everybody. Oh, does somebody need to second it? There we go.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Passed unanimously. Thank you.